What's going on, Draft League fans? My name is Raptos, and this is Momentum Shifters, where we analyze how a game swung from being in one player's favor to being their demise. This week we have yet another fantastic match featuring the SL Benfica and the Montreal Monfernos. Now, while this is our highlight match, I do want to give two honorable mentions: the Seattle Smurgles versus the Tampa Bay Frogadiers, and the Sydney Crocodiles versus the Phoenix Incineroars. Now, the reasons why these aren't our feature matches, in the case of the Seattle Smurgles versus the Tampa Bay Frogadiers, it's more of the fact of they just lucked their way through it, which is something that I did want to talk about on this show, but I feel that this week there is a better game for it. And the reason why we're not going with the Sydney Sharpedos versus Phoenix Incineroars is because the Phoenix Incineroars had that game, but then missed Fire Blast at the end, so their momentum shift was all for naught, so it's not really something to be praising as much because it didn't result in their win. 80% of the time it would have resulted in their win, but this was not an 80% time. I think Fire Blast has an 85% chance accuracy. Let's just ignore that. So, without further ado, I'm going to stop stalling and let's get into our feature match, the Montreal Monfernos versus the SL Benfica. Yeah, I'm just going to be completely honest. I've tried narrating that so many times and I just could not work out what to say. Like, it was such a slow game to begin with that there weren't really any points that anyone was really ahead. Sure, the Monfernos had a KO advantage with them only losing Donphan, where the Benfica had lost their Flygon as well as their Mesprit. However, once the Kartana set up the Swords Dance, the game was over from there. Like, there was no way that anything could take anything coming off that Kartana. In the Monferno's defense, it was an absolutely ballsy play to set up the Swords Dance right there, because the Kartana only threatened the KO on the Landorus Incarnate. It was a 66% chance to get it, plus a critical hit chance, so it's very much in their favor. But that could have been a risk that the Monfernos could have seen worth taking to prevent that thing from getting a Swords Dance up. And the calc for the Earth Power against the Kartana, it could kill two of them easily. So that's a lot of damage that the Kartana would have taken. Like, it would have just gone down instantly, all for naught, if the Monfernos decided, yeah, I don't want this thing to set up and sweep my team. It was a very, very, very risky play to set up on the Landorus. However, it did end up working out, because once that Swords Dance got set up, the Landorus was no longer only threatened with the KO, it was guaranteed to be KO'd after that. This week's been a little bit different from the previous 2 weeks, where the game wasn't necessarily in anyone's favor to begin with. The Monfernos had a slight advantage, as I've continually said, just a slight advantage with that one KO, but it wasn't like the game was in their control and then they slipped out of it. It's that the game was kind of in both players' control, and then the momentum just shifted from being in neither to being very heavily in the Benfica's favor, and just steamrolled through the rest of the Montreal Monfernos team. Overall, even at the turn where the momentum shifted, it was still a very well played game on both players' part. The sacrificing of Mesprit was necessary for the Benfica, but the Montreal Monferno didn't misplay in order to lose their positioning. They just made a call that didn't end up working out for them, and the Benfica made a very, very aggressive play in Swords Dancing. So that's all I have to say about that game. I want to know what you guys thought about it, and what you may have thought about the two games that I didn't talk about, but I mentioned. Let us know. I want actually some activity in the comments other than people just being all, woo, I got into this, or woo, I didn't, or boo, I got into this, but for the wrong reasons. I want to know, like, your thought processes and all that good stuff just down in the comments section. So, yeah. Tune in next week for another Momentum Shifters. We might have another cool game, or I might have to revert back to the ones that I didn't talk about to make up for you guys just, not doing anything good in the league. So, yeah. Who knows? Anyway, I've been a Rapthos, and peace out.